Yo, what is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Starting off with another line sport video. We are versing SB3, and I've got it's the lane where if you use up any of all of you, hold on, okay. If you use up all the charges of a certain basic attack, whether it's medium, light, or heavy attack, then the opponent starts to build up Furies. So very quickly, an opponent on this node, which might not be that big of a deal, ends up being pretty scary once they build up 4, 5, 6 Furies. So I pop an invulnerability just in case I get hit, in case Corvus ends up using a heavy attack and he gets a charge. So yeah, just for safety. So far everything's looking good. I turned on suicides as well, because the faster you get through a fight, the better. I recommend that to everybody. But the only thing is, I am a little bit of a hypocrite, because a lot of times I end up not boosting much. As you guys saw, I only boosted with a 15% attack boost, I believe. And I think this might have been the hardest of the hardest couple fights of the fights that I took. So far this is looking good. Corvus is also using light attacks, or his medium light, so that I can parry that light attack that doesn't crit through block. So far we're looking good. Go in, he gets hit with that, use a heavy attack, and that finishes him off. Alright, out to my next fight. This fight, at first I was like, oh, it's just a Quake fight. But then I realized, oh snap, this has brute force. So we're going to have to play a little bit more careful on this one. I definitely didn't want to use She-Hulk or Void on this, because they rely heavily on their just being as offensive as possible. Void you can play a little bit more slower, but with She-Hulk for the damage output, you definitely want to be going for full 5-hit combos into SP1 or SP2, so definitely not the choice. Okay, so start in, and as you can see, that's the brute force counter on me. The other thing is I gotta watch out with the charges that I have as well. So far, first round of concussion or aftershock looking good. I'm out of the heavy charge, so I'm wondering why. I don't know what happened, but for some reason she wasn't gaining Furies. Okay. I get hit with an SP1 by accident. I just timed it wrong. She ends up using a heavy for some reason. I just gotta evade here for a couple seconds. I go in with a light attack and SP1, and somehow made it through. I don't know exactly what happened, but I played well enough where it didn't matter. So yeah. Okay. Next up is the Sentinel. Sentinel is the easiest of the 3 fights on this lane, just because there's nothing really to worry about. I don't have to use heavies. I still have the 15% attack boost, and yeah, there's just nothing to Sentinel that making me feel threatened. So this is just a normal Sentinel fight. Off the first aftershock, he's already down to 60%, and I don't even have to play full Quake. Actually, I don't even want to, because there I actually accidentally dexed, and that caused him to trigger indestructible, and so he didn't take damage for that round of aftershocks. So just gotta remember, if I do play Quake with dex, then I have to make sure to parry or take the block hit at some point before the aftershock expires, because as you see, otherwise I would have finished the fight. Finished that fight probably like 20 seconds ago. Okay. Next fight is a really long fight. It is Thing on Footloose kinetic transference. I get put on this basically, I mean, about 3 or 4 seasons ago, I basically took every single thing that was on here with She-Hulk. She-Hulk actually works pretty decently. It is sometimes a little slow. I think She-Hulk is probably one of the safer options, although it does cost a science special attack boost. So you can either use the 150 or the 200%. Either one will be fine. I use the 150% one, but either one of them works. I'm just gonna baby boost. I think I use the 15% health boost and call it a day. I'm not really too worried about my attack or doing enough damage, because once I have enough Furies, my damage is gonna be pretty nuts. But essentially what happens in this fight is I start to build up Furies. I am going to speed up through this fight because it does end up being 4 minutes and a half or so for this fight. And yeah, I just didn't want to put in the whole thing. But so essentially what happens is everything is going fine, I'm doing fine, and then for some reason Thing does not want to throw a special attack. I end up at around 8 Furies, and he's just not throwing his special 1 or special 2, and I'm like, excuse me man, I just lost all my Furies. So I went from 8 Furies down to like 2, and then basically for another 2 minutes I just work on getting Furies, and the name of this game is get to as many Furies, let him throw his SP1 so it refreshes your Furies, and throw an SP3 immediately, getting your heavies in there as well, while the opponent, while Thing is stunned after your SP3, and yeah. Okay, so he throws the SP1, it refreshes my Furies, I wait, and I'm just spamming the SP3 button. He's at 60% health. This special 3 does a decent amount of damage, gets him down to 40%. That gives me almost a bar of power. And yeah, I just basically just throw heavies until he's not stunned. He throws a special 2. So it refreshes my Furies again. Again, you're not really looking to get your damage in through normal basic attacks because he's going to be triggering protection anytime you crit. He goes in and throws another one. I just have to basically, I want the protection not to be up. He throws his special 1 again. I'm just gonna wait for the protection to go down. Throw my special 3. And yeah, that does a solid amount of damage. He's down to 7%, and I'm just throwing my heavies. Just wait a little bit, throw another heavy, and he throws his special 2. Now, I'm not entirely sure if I have protection on here, but either way, I just need one more special 3, so I don't even need it to, I don't even need to refresh the Furies. Going for an SP3. And yep, fight is over. Really unfortunate that I lost my Furies at the start of the fight. So could have finished this fight a whole lot faster because I would have been at a lot more Furies. My SP3 would hit a lot more. But yeah, took him down. Not too bad of a fight. It just sucks that I lost my Furies. Okay, next fight is this Black Widow Clairvoyant. I'm going to be using Quake on this. Originally it was for somebody else to take this fight, but I'm not sure what happened to the person, but yeah, I just ended up taking it just because with Quake I would have been fine for the most part. Even if she heavied me and she went unblockable, I have class advantage, so my damage goes up, and also I can just, because this isn't a stubborn defender, I can just Quake Dex the whole time while I have those bleeds on me. But yeah, just a simple Black Widow Clairvoyant fight, and yeah, against Mystics, any kind of attack boost with Quake that you can get off, yeah, feels pretty good. But I had my Suicides off because I had just fought that thing where I needed to spam special 1. So my damage isn't going to be as awesome as it is when I am fighting with Suicides. But as you can see, she's still going down pretty decently, at a good rate, I would say. But yeah, I do not like turning off turning on, turning off, turning on my suicide several times in a single war. Especially if it's a war that I think we're gonna win. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I just using all those units. It's like I think it's like 70, 80 units to turn them on and off. So yeah, not for me, man. Turn them on and off once a war is good for me. Okay, so we're almost done with this fight. Just gotta get one more round, and she's down. Okay, so far we have played pretty good. And we just have the thing boss left. I use up my energy because, yeah, just to tax anybody because I will not be taking a fight until the morning. So there it is. Thing, it is like, I want to say like 11 o'clock in the morning, and I gotta take this thing. So yeah, I'm not, one thing is that whenever there's a lane that is not connected, I have this like OCD where like, okay, I gotta take this lane because it's not connecting. I don't know what it is. It's like a little bit of OCD. It's like I need to light up the whole tree. But yeah, we're not actually gonna boost that big for this fight. I'm pretty confident fighting things as well. So you just use a 20% champion boost, 20% health, just in case. I don't think I actually need it. Most of the time when I fight thing, I usually don't end up below. I usually don't end up below 50%. I don't think. That, and I'm also pretty stingy with boosting. Yeah, I try to reserve as many potions throughout the season as possible. Go in, start in with an intercept. Just trying to parry as many hits as I can as well. Go in for another combo. Luckily, he doesn't throw his special attack there. And I also get a petrify right at the start, which is my first debuff actually. Going for another 5-hit combo, SP1, and just, yeah, basically you just want to be throwing special ones most of the time, or as fast as possible, because the more debuffs you get on them, the more you can counter their willpower, the more you can get Fear of the Void up as well, and just, yeah, just have him take down. For the most part, Thing is a pretty simple fight. One of the things that I do recommend anybody who fights Thing is, and I actually got this tip from West, who's at the moment in, he's in ASR right now. And yeah, the main thing is to take off Assassins. Assassins is so detrimental in this fight because if you're below 18, or if Thing is below 18%, and your Assassins kicks in, and you were expecting him to be at 14 rock stacks, and he's not, because of Assassins, where he ends up at 14 instead of 15. That is so bad. That could end up killing you. So yeah, here I actually use an SP3 to give myself a little bit more room. But yeah, it's just that there's probably been many cases where you're fighting a Thing, he has 10 rock stacks, for example, you use a full 5-hit combo, and he ends up at 14. He throws a special attack, like right here, where he does not have anywhere close to another bar, and yeah, now you have to deal with 14 rock stacks, no power, and somehow make out of it alive. So yeah, very, very sketchy situation to be in. Luckily, it wasn't me, and yeah, just a tip I've learned, and it has definitely come in handy. It just sucks that also that, like, if I do end up running Assassins in any situation, then I also have to reset my masteries if I end up fighting a Thing. Now, if Thing can be stunned, it's not that big of a deal. You can run Assassin still, because you can just parry medium or parry light. But if you can't, yeah, you just turn it off. Okay, so far 3 minutes into this fight, he's down to 30%, or just about 30%. This is a rank 3 Thing. I think this one was actually signature 200. I'm not. I don't quite remember. But yeah, this was definitely one of the longer fights. Even though like I didn't take a single hit and everything was going fine. My counting is doing good. Thank you to my 2nd grade or 1st grade math teacher, my parents, shout out to them that I can count really well. But yeah, this fight is going to be over pretty soon. Evaded that SB2 quite elegantly, I would say so myself. And yeah, as you can see, thing is yeah, taking a lot of that damage, man. Just I freaking love Void, man. Okay, almost down. Evade this SP1 in the corner. So far doing good. Just hit into his block. If he throws a special, not that big of a deal as well. And my combo there, and yeah, he just ends up degenning. Anyways, guys, that is it to the war video. I actually have 2 more amazing boss kills to go to upload to the channel. They're actually pretty nuts. Well, I think they're nuts. You guys might not think they're nuts. I like it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.